What is up, guys? Digger Jim here. We are live. That's right, people. We are live. We are back from Heroes Con, and we are here to recap the hijinks that went on and show off some of the books that we got. I'm excited. I didn't get a lot. Mine wasn't about quantity. It was more like quality, just because I flew. If I had driven, it'd have been a different story. I'd have probably had like a short box full of run fillers. So, but but anyway, let's get into it. Let me tell you got Ben Parker Comics here and TJ Flash by Night, myself. So why don't we get started? And Ben, I'm gonna let you go first. I'm gonna move
All
you
right.
here. Boom, boom. Show us what you
What's
got.
up, everybody?
And I'll say some hellos to everybody.
So
Hey, Marvin.
I can go quickly through.
You don't have to go quickly. Just go through.
Awesome. I got this awesome art book signed by Austin LeMay from the Comics Care and Cancer booth. Picked up a couple of those.
Yes.
This nice, what was that, Matt Wilson, I believe. And the Miko Soyan Sonic. So I was super happy to pick those up. And then I went over and saw Rodney Barnes because I noticed he was sitting pretty close to Naman, and chatting with Naman, and I looked over and I was like, that's Rodney Barnes. I got to go over there. So I had him and George's sign this Mandalorian #1, and sorry about the lighting, this Mandalorian #1.
Right.
And George's also signed this Kickstarter Kaba Lounge 2019 sketchbook.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I believe it was a Kickstarter, and he signed it there on the first page.
Yeah.
But John Tyler Christopher did the cover art, cover coloring on this.
Okay.
So
there you go.
I thought that was real cool. And he also threw in this cool sticker set of his Mando stuff. Yeah. So that was awesome.
Yeah, I don't know any. I don't read any of the Star Wars stuff, so I don't know any of those creators. But you know, that's part of what the deal is. You got to hone in on the specific people that you want to deal with, because there's so many of them. I don't think you know. I think I made the sacrifice to say I'm not going to do this because I'm just going to do this instead. So that's good.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about a con. I mean, if you have your goals and I mean you run through and knock them out.
Yeah.
I mean, the rest of the con is just to like take it all in and do whatever you want, meet people and see it all.
Right.
I mean, awesome. Awesome. All right. So next I went to the Comicsburg table.
Yeah, I did too.
Grant Lackard signed his Memoirs of the Morbid.
Mm-hmm.
Bunch of horror shorts, which is really cool. His League of the Cryptids, he signed it up here. It's kind of in gold. It's a little light, but super cool.
Yeah.
And then his Beowulf, his take on kind of a modern take on Beowulf. So that was cool. And then I kind of went down the whole table because everything those guys from Comicsburg had was really cool. So and they were a lot of fun to talk to. So I got the whole Theme of Thieves run signed by DP Brown there.
Okay.
And also our homie who was in the chat, Marvin Wynn, signed his whole series of The Edge for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna read that. I picked up that set, and I'm gonna read it, and I think I'm gonna have Marvin on, and we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah, and he's the Edge Comic at the Edge Comic on Instagram. If anyone
right,
give him a follow. And then Matthew Adkins, also on Instagram, his handle is at Siren XOXO. It's PSYREN.
Okay.
And he writes this book, Beeswax, and this is the ash can of number 2, which he signed and remarked 8 of 25, and then issue number 1, which he signed and remarked for me, and issue number 2, which he signed and remarked for me.
And you picked that off of his table?
Yeah, actually, he was camped out at Naman's table.
Yeah.
Naman's table. And,
Naman's table.
And I was like, what are you drawing on? And he was like, this is my comic book. And I said, did you do like all of it? And he said, every single bit of it. And I was like, you got any more of them?
Right. So, that was the gentleman with all the tattoos and stuff, right?
Yeah. I think he's a professional piercer, like by trade, but he did that whole thing in it. And from his description, it kind of goes from like rudimentary drawing style to more advanced drawing style. Sure. And he kind of shows how he does it in the story.
Right.
I think his goal is to just draw kids into drawing comics. So
sure.
Yeah. I met him, but I didn't know he was a creator. I thought he was just a new community member I was meeting. I didn't know
so did I, man. I was shocked. I was like, "That's your book? That's cool, man."
Okay.
All right. So, I got this magazine size Rampaging Hulk number 2.
Oh, nice.
Which just had that awesome, kind of. It's the Parisian Peril, so it's like a French sentinel that he's beating up,
Right.
So, I thought that was awesome. And I don't know why these two were kind of impulse buys. I just walked by them and they just kind of reeled me in. But
that's a good impulse to have.
This treasury. I was just like Doom, Superman, Spider-Man, and then on the back it's like Spider-Man, Wonder Woman. It's like these killer crossover battles. I think it's from about like 74, maybe.
Right.
76, somewhere in there. But that was a cool find.
Cool.
And then the books that I was hunting at the con, and I actually got a couple more than I had anticipated. I got this Strange Tales on Sunday. It was in somebody's $7 bin. It is in really nice mid-grade shape. $2.
So is there significance for that one? Is that like a key or?
I mean, I'm sure it probably is maybe a minor key or I honestly have no idea, but it's Enter Umar, so maybe it's the first appearance of Umar. But I was just drawn into how sharp the cover was with no creases, and it was $2.
It's $2. It's like you can't leave that, It's like, how can I leave this? I can't. It's you just can't do it. So
I was with Evil Mike's. Comics, and we were walking around, and I found this. I absolutely did not pay that for it, but this is a super sharp copy of X-Men number 19.
That's first Mimic, right?
Yes, which was one of the few I was missing in volume 1. And then I got X-Men 18, another nice, really sharp copy.
Yeah, those were sharp.
And I was Mark did a little schooling to me last year and taught me, and you too, Jim, like telling me like, no, you don't pay what people are asking.
No.
I admit.
No, I mean, I learned that a long time ago. Yeah.
Yep. So then I got a 15.
Nice. Yeah, because they all want to sell their stuff. At the end of the day, they know it's
take it home.
The only people that you pay directly to are in my opinion, are the independent guys. They're trying to get their stuff out, and obviously
I'm happy to do.
You're not going to haggle with an artist.
Exactly.
He sets the rate, and you pay it or you don't.
That's
but as far as books go,
yeah,
no.
Yeah. I know you didn't pay for it, so
right.
Yeah, but So the final one is X-Men 9.
Oh.
And
Man.
this is a super clean copy. And this was Saturday. I walked in the doors. I had been looking for this. Like most of the people in the group knew, and they were like keeping an eye out just in case. And
right.
I walked in the door and straight ahead to the first booth, and they had this beat up. I mean, it was like chipped and like the corner was gone and blah, blah, blah. $450. I said, that's like $150, $200 book at best. I mean, it might be a 1.0. So they said it's $450. We'll come down to $4 for you. I said, let me think about it. I'll walk around. And I walked around the corner and saw this book sitting on the shelf at the next booth over. Same price, easily 5-6 grades higher than the other one, you know. And I said, you got any wiggle room on it? And they said, yeah, we'll come down to $400 on it. You got a deal. So, I got that. So now I'm down to 1 through 6, but
nice.
Really 1 through 5 because I bought a number 6 since I've gotten home.
Didn't something come in the mail while you were gone? You were like, oh yeah, by the way, this came in the mail.
Yeah, number 15.
Number 15.
Yeah, and I was like, I didn't take it out of my CLZ like missing list because I hadn't received it yet.
Yeah.
So, you know, until that thing's in my hands, I'm not going to wipe it off my list. But at Heroes Con, I was like, I need 9, 15, 18, 9. You know, I was just like, I was on a path and I completely forgot I had ordered that off a short box. So then I took my last CGC submission had a few books in it that I knew I was just going to bring for trade. So I traded one for this Star Wars 7 and a 9.6, which is nicer than my raw copy.
Yeah.
And another one for this Star Wars 9, which is also nicer than my raw. And these are all newsstand white pages, which are fantastic. So,
wow.
And then this number 10, which is,
I love that cover.
Yeah, this is great. I completed the series a couple months ago, but you know, all is well in the upgrade. So then I swung by the short box booth and replaced a book I sold a long time ago.
Wow. See, now I have that raw, but I know it would never get a 8.0. I think mine's at best maybe a 5. And that mean like send it out to get pressed and you know, but yeah,
this was a total impulse. I was like I was just wandering around after I completed all my goals and said I gotta find the short box booth. I haven't been by there this year, and I walked over and talked to Kevin for a while and looked down, and I was like, "You got any wiggle room on that?" And he was like, "Yeah, that's our book. I'll knock $40 off it." So I got it for $200.
That's
8.0 white pages newsstand. I was like, "Yeah, I'll do that."
Oh man!
And then I said, "Does this go on my punch card on short box?" And he said, "Nobody's ever asked us that before." So they were like, "Yeah, just send us an email. We'll put it towards your punch card."
So explain to me now. Here's the thing: I have never bought from Shortbox, though I've been thinking about starting to go there because I'm seeing great deals, and I miss going to the booth. So what is the punch card? Explain that.
Punch card, of course, it's your digital punch card on their website, and 10 purchases, I believe, within a month, you get 50% off of
the next purchase,
either your next purchase or they refund you 50% of your lowest purchase. I'm not entirely clear on it.
Yeah,
because I also have never filled my punch. I can't buy 10 slabs a month. What are they?
So it's in a month. It's got to be a month. Yeah, man, come on.
So the last slab I bought and the last book I'll show is the big premiere issue of Hulk and a 5.0. Sorry, my light is glaring, but
you just hit all the bangers.
Total impulse buy, but I saw that for $180, and I talked them down a little bit off of that, and
Yeah.
And I said, that's one I never owned that I've always wanted. So
there you go. There you go.
The only other things I got were a couple of really cool coins. I found one of Pocan Joe's coins.
Right on.
That he was planning around. He was trying to outdo CGC with their little golden eggs. And then Scott from Hoarder's Hide gave me one of his really awesome
challenge coins. Yeah.
Yeah, these things are cool. And then I picked up stickers from Roscoe.
Right on.
Jersey gave me his new one. I got Austin LeMay's stickers.
So Rob's saying that you get a coupon for 50% off the purchase price for the lowest cost book from your punch card. The period of time is usually over 2 to 3 months. Well, that's not bad.
Okay, good. Yeah, I was unclear on the time frame, but 2 to 3 months will be that's a life goal to buy 10 slabs in 2 to 3 months for me.
Well,
that's
goals are important.
Awesome con, and I mean that's what I picked up.
Great. All right, is that what you got?
Yeah, I had a big old stack of Dark Horse Star Wars.
All right,
you've all seen all that before.
Yeah, that's nothing new. All right,
it's another show.
Let me move DJ over.
There we go. All right, since Mr. Ben Parker ended this way, I will begin this way. First, I'm going to begin by saying I've learned some things already. I've learned the phrases. You got some wiggle room with that,
yeah.
And I'm gonna walk around and think about it. The walk around and think about it is hard for me. I'm easily sucked in. I gotta build up my resistance when I go around people making sales.
You're right.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, John's right. We got to get a shirt that says that. You got any wiggle room with that?
All right. So first thing I have is the Brian LCS starter package. So he sent bookmarks, stickers, of course. Oh,
that's awesome.
Comic Book Community Awards.
Right.
If you do not know about that, go to CBCA?
Mm-hmm.
CBC Awards on IG.
Right. CBCA Awards, which, by the way, we'll do a brief pause here. Guys, they are now active. Make your nominations for people that you like on YouTube that are like, hey, I like this show. I want to nominate this show. Remember, there are sub counts. They have to be like from, some are 1 to 500 or 100 to 1,000, or, they're all different levels and stuff. So, make your nominations because the voting starts and so forth. Before you know it, they'll be having the awards and you'll go, wait, I didn't do anything. All right, look at this guy. What's going on, man? That's awesome. But
yeah. So put in your nominations, not to be confused with nominations, because may take over a nation if you blink too hard. All right. Yeah. So next thing I have Retro Rocket comic sticker. Of course, that is Christian Comic Vets LCS. If you are in Canada, give them a ring. And a Christian Comic Vet sticker. I've got a Roscoe sticker. Met Roscoe for the first time, and
that's a good dude.
He was on the inside of a smaller art vendor, and I was on the outside, and I was tempted to like trample through their little setup to get to Roscoe, but I was
controlling yourself like a
controlling
good man.
myself, and I walked around to get my hug. But yeah, meeting Roscoe was cool. And I have not one but 2 Comics Curing Cancer magnets.
Nice.
If you are here and you do not know about Comics Curing Cancer one way or another, check out Comics Curing Cancer on IG. There we go. And then we have the Hoarder's Hide challenge coins.
There you go.
What's in your hide? and he had a separate one for military veterans.
Oh, now let me see that. Bring that up on the camera because we didn't see that.
That one.
I didn't work for that company, so I didn't get that one. That's awesome.
Cool. That's cool. Nice.
You didn't miss a whole lot. You didn't have to live outside and eat MREs and have extra back and knee pains by the time you got out. So
you were on latrine duty.
Yeah.
You didn't miss a ton.
It's funny. It's the same thing Pocan Joseph says. He's like, I've had all these things replaced because of that. So
I mean, I almost forgot. Nick Comic Culture sticker. There we go.
Oh, see, I didn't get one of those. I didn't see him.
I didn't either.
So the reason why I ran into Nick Comic Culture is because I got in one line twice. It wasn't moving the first time, and so I did around the con, and then came back, and the line still wasn't moving. But Nick Comic Culture was in line with Dr. Doom Fan Club and 9-Panel Grid to see Sanford Green.
Oh, nice! Wow!
Yeah.
Wow!
And so I got Sanford Green signature. I came for signatures and maybe to hunt some Transformers books, and of course to hang out with the community members, even if I only met them at the door and then didn't see them anymore. I met Jim at the door coming in.
Yeah, he's like, "Where are the tickets?"
He pointed me out to the ticket booth, which I should have remembered because I did this 2 years ago. But he pointed me out to the ticket booth, and I'm like, all right, well, I grab my tickets. I'll see you out there. Yeah. Never did see him out there.
Now, TJ, are you thinking of, man? Hold that up again.
Okay,
man. This is one of these things that tears me up. I love that. I feel like that's slab worthy right there.
Yeah,
and it's hard for me not want to slab something like that. And I'm not a huge slab guy, but every once in a while you get one, you're just like, man.
That's a display book right there. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. It is a display book.
It's going somewhere safe, so that I may have to slab it, especially since like the value of this thing, more so the A cover, but the value of this book kind of shot up immediately.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put it somewhere safe after showing it off a couple of times.
There you go.
All right. And also, because I haven't read it yet, I got the first trade of Bitterroot. And let's see if I can find. So I've got Sanford Green in red and Chuck Brown in black to sign.
Nice. I've never read that either, so.
I had the issue number 8 Purple Rain cover just because it was Purple Rain cover.
Yeah.
And I've had people since then tell me, you should really actually read the book. It's good.
Okay.
I've heard that about Bitterroot. Yeah. Really good series. I haven't read it myself. I may have one issue yet.
Yeah. So next cover or next book next 2 books are from David Finch or David Finch signatures.
I heard his signature kind of blows. That's not terrible?
No, that's not bad.
People were saying it's not good. And I'm like, really?
It's small, but I'll tell you what though. Like for this cover specifically, it fits right in that little space right there.
Now let me ask you: did you tell him to put it there, or did he put it there?
He put it there.
I'm shocked he didn't want to put it across Moon Knight or something.
There are certain books you can tell. I don't have it with me, but the Moon Knight issue number 6, which is just a big Moon Knight cover. He's kind of got his fist up and his tooth is all tattered. Well, I want to say it's like a 1 in 10 maybe that has like bloody knuckles.
Yeah.
And so I brought it, and he knows exactly where he likes to put his signature on that book. So I'm assuming there's some books that always come up, and he kind of knows exactly what he wants to do. And he is more of an artist than me, so I'm not going to tell him where to put the signature. He knows.
Some of those guys get in line. They're like, "Excuse me, can you put it right here?" I don't think I'd ever say that either. But at the same time, you're like, I think some of those artists get in there and they're like, man, I hated doing this book. I'm gonna put my name all across it and just ruin it.
Yeah, that is true. I've seen some artists like kill the trade dress or write over a character's face or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I guess it depends on the artist, but he kind of knows. His signature is small, but B, he kind of knows where he wants to put stuff and not mess it up. So
right. So I had one Moon Knight book that I brought with me that I was gonna get him to sign, and I even brought a silver marker because it's so dark. I wanted him to sign it in that because I didn't think they'd have it. But I didn't think he might have one, so it was a silver metallic marker, and I just kept going by, and I was like, that line is too long. I just can't do it.
It wasn't, the line itself wasn't long, but he was doing remarks and signatures and having conversations. And so like the group that was up there, I feel like I don't know if anybody's familiar with the is it Comic Book Fiend Club?
Yeah.
The group that Drac is in, I think. They were like in the front of every line I got in.
Right.
And they were holding up progress, not complaining. They're doing their fan thing, whatever.
Right.
But somehow I ended up in their line at every signature place I went to. Because the first time I went to see Sanford Green, that was who was at the front of the line.
Right.
I gotta stop following. And I went to go see Brian Stelfreeze, who never, at least I didn't see him make it back. But I went to see Brian Stelfreeze, and they were waiting on him also. They are everywhere I'm trying to be. What is this?
They were just following you. They know you got good taste. That's all it is.
I don't know about all that. I'll take your word for it, Jim. All right. And my second fence book is Justice League of America issue number 1. Number 1.
Wow. I didn't know he did that.
I didn't pay attention to it until maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago. But for those who don't know, this is like a homage or homage, whichever way you want to say it, to the Marine Corps Iwo Jima monument from Japan. Yeah, and he did. There's like 51 or 52 of them because there's one for each state.
Yeah,
I think Puerto Rico, the American flag, and I think there are a couple of other special variants. Sure. Anyway, I asked him. He looked at me kind of funny because he didn't know what it meant. But I asked him to also put Semper Fi on the front.
Yeah.
The Marine Corps motto is Semper Fi or Semper Fidelis, which is Latin for always faithful. And so I kind of walked him through how to spell it, and to make him feel comfortable because he looked at me 2 or 3 times before he started. Like, are you sure this is what you want me to do to your book?
Did you tell him you were a Marine?
I had the Marine Corps. I had my Marine Corps shirt on, so I didn't tell him, but I didn't have my shirt on.
Yeah.
Didn't your backpack have it on it too?
And the backpack had it on it. Yeah.
I don't know why I look at you funny. I mean, you know.
Well,
that's how I recognized you. I was like, oh.
All right. Next 3 books. Let's see. Did I bring all 3? I might not have brought. I did bring all 3. Let's see. Let me get myself an order here.
That's all right. Take your time.
Let's see. So my next 3 books. Oh, let's go with the Marvel Transformers first. So what I came to hunt of anything was Marvel's Transformers books. Unfortunately, between all the lines I stood in, like by the time I looked up, it was 5:45 and the con was closing at 6. And I'm like I didn't leave myself any time to hunt, but I did find 3 Transformers books, and this is issue number 32.
Love it.
I think I'm 63, 64 issues deep into the 80 issue run. So I'm coming to a close sometime soon.
Wow.
This is 68. Of course, around the mid 60s and 70s, the print run gets real low. But I got this for $7 or $8. I was surprised.
I'm sure E-Man has a couple he can give you, right, E-Man?
Yes, stick around, E-Man. I got something for you.
Oh man!
All right, and this is 32. The other one was 22. This is Transformers 32. There we go. Used Autobots.
That's funny.
I have no idea what's in this thing, but I'll read it sometime soon. But I think I'm up to issue 27 on my Transformers video, so I'll get that sooner or later. All right, next 3 books are especially for E-Man. So Ralph Macchio, not the Karate Kid, was at the con, and I did not know until last week that he wrote the first issue of Marvel's Transformers, and he wrote the 3-issue movie adaptation for Transformers the movie. Nice. And so I had him put pen to paper on Transformers the movie issue number 1.
Nice, I can see that. And see, that's well placed. You can see it clearly, and there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, and he takes pride in his signature. He took time. He's talking about how some artists just come and scribble really quick or whatever, put things whatever. So you can tell he thinks about it or whatever.
Sure.
Let's see. There's issue number 2.
This is the mini series, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the mini series that's from the movie. He said he kind of talked about how you had to get the script from the movie and how a movie is a motion picture and it has sound, and he had to find a way to convey it in comic form without boring the reader because it's not a movie.
Right.
And so I had fun talking for about 15 minutes.
Nice.
And then, all right, so that's issue number 3.
That's cool.
We put a little paint job on Unicron.
There you go.
And so what happened was I had 4 books, so that was $40 in signatures, and I only had a $20 bill. And so I asked him about paying with debit cards, and of course, he only takes cash because he's new to cons. He doesn't con. But he said that Tom DeFalco gave him a call one day, said you should start going to cons, meeting fans, signing stuff, get out of the house, basically. And so he decided to do it. And I went all the way to the Westin because the two ATMs at the con were both out of order. Well, one was out of order. I think one ran out of money like when I was 2 people back. So I had to go to the Westin to find cash. Because I told him I didn't want him to come to his first or one of his first con experiences, and everybody was nice except this one guy who ripped me off. So I went outside in the heat and my feet were hurting, but I was going to find his other $20 because I didn't want to be that guy.
Yeah, fair enough.
And my last book I have to show is from Izzyverse NYC because Izzy hooked this up. I asked them for it, and I was imagining 2 small pictures with these 2 characters on a blank cover. But Izzy, did we lose Jim?
It's our show now, buddy.
Aha! We're the captain now. All right, so I'll show it again when Jim comes back, but. Izzy did me a Moon Knight and Darkwing Duck on this Darkwing Duck blank cover.
That's awesome.
This was the highlight of the weekend. I could not have expected this. There he goes.
That was weird.
Dad's back.
that was so weird. It just all of a sudden kicked me out.
We commandeered the ship, Captain.
Nice.
But yeah, so this is my highlight. Izzy. Izzy doing a Darkwing Duck and Moon Knight cover. This was great. I'm going to stop at the Izzy store more than one occasion.
Yeah,
so this is great.
Yeah, I have a piece to show from Izzy too that man.
Okay, all right, but yeah, that was it. Besides meeting everybody and everybody kind of either meeting or exceeding expectations. Right. Mark giving the best bear hug in the business.
Yeah, he does that. He does that.
But no, the community was great. I didn't meet anybody who I wouldn't want to meet again, and hopefully anybody I didn't meet face to face, or who I only met once, I'll see in the future.
So you know what you got to do next time. You gotta just start, putting that cookie money away or whatever.
That is
tell your wife, drop me off here. And you go to Greensboro because this is where I'm here for the weekend. That's what we want to see.
That may be it, or maybe we at least plan on leaving. Both of us take off on a Friday and plan on leaving Thursday night. So yes. So she has family in Greensboro, and so the plan was to take her up to Greensboro and then come back down to Charlotte, which happened, but it didn't happen the way I wanted it to happen because Atlanta traffic was not nice to me. It was not kind.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well,
I'm only like an hour and a half from Greensboro.
Awesome.
Oh, where at?
Oak Island.
I'm gonna move around here.
Yep.
I feel like I've seen that before. I don't think I've been there, but I think I've seen that before.
It's kind of in between Wilmington and Myrtle Beach.
There you go.
Okay, right. that might be why. Okay, that might be why it looks familiar.
Yeah. All right. I too. I don't think anybody in our group that didn't that went to the con didn't go to the C3 booth at least 5 times. I picked up, these two. They gave me these two. I bought these 3 copies. This one's mine. This one's Little Bros. This one is going to Brad Wellbore up in Canada.
Nice.
Because I've been thinking about Brad and said, you know what? He supports the channel. He's always in Gary B's show as well. So I wanted to get him something, and that's what we're doing. We're getting him the Canada. Well, I'll be shipping that to Canada. Let me show the first things that I got. Not first things, but the Independence. I got this Philadelphia, and Rodney Barnes signed it. It's right here. Yeah, he had already signed it. He had it. He had a stack of different ones, and I said, I think I heard DJ talking about this book, and so I thought I would pick up the first issue. And I told him, I said, listen, I'm gonna read this, and if it stinks, I know you're going to Baltimore. And he's like, just remember, they don't bring no weapons to Baltimore. And I was like, plus he's like, what, 7 foot? Have you ever seen him? He is massively big. When we took the picture, I'm like looking at him like Andre the Giant. Insane.
I've seen videos of him. I didn't stop by there. His booth and a couple of other booths I didn't make it to were probably on my regret list, including Arn Anderson.
Right.
He was on my mind the whole trip up there. But by the time everything happened, my mind was freed from Arn Anderson. And then Sunday, I'm like, I did not make it to see Arn Anderson.
All right, so then I too went by the Comicsburg people, and I got this pack of the Edge book. It's the first set of issues. It comes with like a pen and paper, and also he gave me some posters that are over there. So I'm going to be digging into that. I think I'm going to hit up Marvin afterwards and say, hey, let's go through it. Let's do a live or whatever. I thought that would be fun. And the other gentleman that was in his group had a book too. So I went ahead and got that. And the this character right here, they had a woman cosplaying it, and I don't know what happened, but she gave me a signed photo. So that was fun. That was interesting.
I kept running into her. She was like 3.5 feet tall.
Yeah, she was.
She was like fighting demons down the hallway and stuff.
Yeah, I saw that too.
It was awesome, dude.
Yeah, I too also got some Brian swag, so I'm very happy to have that. And so we got to pull. You got to pull pins, and the last year I got a 0.5, and this year was no better. I don't know where it is. I threw it in the drawer, but they gave mercy on you and gave you stickers, and I was like, whatever. Of course, Mark pulled like a 10.0, and and got a beautiful slab, and so did Will. Now
I didn't even get stickers. I got one of the 5.0 Batman pins, I think.
Right.
But this was toward the end of the day Saturday, so they may have been out of everything else. But they didn't even offer me stickers.
So I didn't. My intent was not to pick up a lot of signatures. Because I flew and didn't drive, it went a little differently. I decided it was more going to be quality over quantity. If I drive, then I could take a short box and fill it up with run fillers. So, yeah, that's right. Look at Mark. Mark was like, they gave me some 8.0 piece of trash, and I had to tell him what was up. I'm not going to put that because it was like he got over there. And I think he was like the first one, and they were going to video him. He's like, you really want to start your video with an 8.0? Come on, people.
Like the first post of the day?
Yeah, I mean, he was right. That's just
I think Mark found his 10.0 pin from last year and reached into the bag and was like, baby.
I don't know. I think he's just lucky duck, just like Will. Will did the same thing. Will but he, I mean, everybody gets lucky somehow. All right, so I did get some signatures. I got this Green Lantern book, which I'm probably just going to send to my bro because I'm pretty sure that it's his. And I got Daryl Banks to sign it.
I know, Mark.
That's pretty cool. And this one's mine, and it's Amazing Spider-Girl, and it's the first run. So I got DeFalco and Ron Friends to sign it. And that was pretty neat. And the funny thing was I gave all these people I gave all these people coins. So like I would go and say here's this wheat penny, and it says when I found it, and they were like, that's for me, and I was like, yeah, because here's my sticker. This is what I do, and I just like to hand them out. Because I find them a lot. I mean, I told him, I was like, it's not worth the millions of dollars, but it's just a really cool piece of history that a lot of people don't know. And I think every single one of them were just flabbergasted because they don't, that's not normal. Most people don't give them stuff. They just want their signatures and move on. Here's the stuff for John. John wanted this Starman signed by Tony Harris. So I went by Tony Harris's, and we got, Izzy was with me, and Tony Harris says, hey, you guys want to see something that's not out yet? And we're like, yes, please. And so they're getting ready to launch, or talk about the launch in August for the next Starman run, and he showed us the first cover. And it's just breathtaking, like just the detail in the art. And I thought Izzy was going to have a cow right there. I mean, he wouldn't put it, like he kept looking at it. He kept going back, and he'd punch me and be like, hey, do you see this? And I was like, yes, I see this. Yeah. It's amazing. And it is. It really is. It's beautiful, beautiful cover. So be on the lookout for that. That's going to happen. Again, so I didn't have plans to get too many signatures. But little bro wanted Frizen. So he sent me this. And so that goes back to him. So it's got Gail Simone on it and Jenny Frizen. So that's pretty cool. And this one is issue 2, which is also very fire. What is that? Yeah. Should have bought the art. Yeah. Should have. Yeah. I should have just traded in my car for the art because that's pretty much what he would want. The only book that I wanted signed by Jenny Frizen was my 8 Billion Genies because she signed it. And then I got Charles Soule and Ryan Brown to sign it as well. So that's the trifecta. And while I was there, Marcus showed me where they were. And yeah, I bought this one because I didn't have this in my PC. It's the Wish World series. And I thought he said there was only like maybe 250 or 500 of these made. I don't know, maybe I was misunderstanding, but he made it sound like there weren't that many of these, and they had them at the table. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to get that as well. That's when Marcus took me over there, he had Beckerman's books with him. And he put the books down on the table, and he went to shoot a picture of the two guys, you know, and then he grabbed he had bought one of these plushies of the genie. They were selling these genies as like a little plushie. Oh, yeah. And I said, you should get it because it goes with that that Octo that I sent you, that E-Man that I won from E-Man, and then I forwarded to him because he's the biggest Something's Killing the Children fan in the world. So he ended up buying that, but then he left Beckerman's books there, and I didn't see him, so I wasn't, you know, I was focused on putting my stuff away. And but yeah, long story short, he got him back the next day, so that was very cool.
I saw him right after he got him back, and the look of like relief.
He's like, yeah, because I'm sure Beckerman was going to whoop up on him. So Ben and I are in a IG chat, and there's a gentleman in there that was showing. We were talking about getting sketches and stuff, and he started showing the sketches he'd gotten over the years. And there's a Firestorm one that I really liked. And I said, listen, you know, tell me what you're looking for. And if I find it, I'll buy it. And maybe we can, you know, do some trades. So this was one of the books that he wanted. I did not pay that price because, you know, that's the con rule. But it's the first Hawk and Dove. And this was the cleanest copy. I'd seen like 2 other copies, but the whole side of one was all like, you know, this whole side was like all torn up. The other copy was missing a, you know, part of the cover over here. This was the cleanest copy I'd seen. And so I'm hoping to do it. Yeah, I'm hoping to do a trade with James. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this is the stuff that hold on. I too, I'm going to do this real quick. I too commissioned, you know, before the con, I said, Izzy, I'm going to send you some money. This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Doom. This man crushed it.
Drum roll, please.
Crushed it. I mean, look at that. Look at that. That crackle. I mean, he probably did that in like 20 minutes and just, you know, sat there and watched TV and just colored it in, because I'm amazed at how quickly he does these things. And it's like he knows exactly, like once you say who the character is, then he's like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And let's put it this way. Just let me show you something. I've got.
If you've had a conversation with Izzy, you realize that his brain is going 8 billion miles an hour.
So I went a little nutty with blanks.
Nice.
Because Izzy and I are gonna have a future together here. Every one of these blanks could have his name on it.
Y'all have a bright future.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I mean, when I'm not poor again, after I get over my con money, but yeah, so Izzy crushed it. You know, I see many more things coming his way because I thoroughly enjoyed what I got. There was a gentleman there that had been there the last 2 times I'd been there, and all I'd ever bought was posters from him. Or not posters, but like, you know, prints. I thought he drew Voltron very well. Well, there is no Voltron blank, unfortunately, that I could find anywhere. I even looked on my comic shop. I just don't think they ever did a Voltron blank. So I just said, screw it. I bought a Transformer blank, and he put, I said, put Voltron on it.
Yeah.
So he put Voltron on it.
That is so great.
Yeah, and I almost had him color it in, but it was so late getting to him that I was worried he wouldn't get it done. And I didn't get this till like, I don't know, 4:30 on Sunday. He was pretty much finished. But
that's cool, man.
Yeah, I love it.
Now, have him draw GoBots on your Transformers.
Now that is sacrilege.
Right. So the other one that I bought a Space Ghost blank before I even left because I already knew I was going to have, Joe Stanton's been around since like the 60s. And what's up, Phil? And
not poor again.
I had to get something from him. So I had him draw Space Ghost.
Dude. That's awesome.
That is
nice. So I now have a piece of Joe Stanton artwork.
Plus, it's kind of like the negative space vibe, also the way it's drawn.
Yeah. I don't hate it. I think it's good.
Oh yeah. No, that's great.
Now this one, I also bought this I bought the blank at my LCS, and I knew what I was doing with this. I was going to go to Daryl Banks and get it done. I just had no idea what he charged, because they had sent out a PDF with all these different artists and what they charged, and his name wasn't on it. Neither was Joe Stanton's. So I was like, well, we'll see. So what's up, Mont? So this right here is Daryl Banks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Damn, Jim. That's awesome, dude.
$40.
Yeah.
I almost fell out on the ground when I thought he said
that's a con success story.
Yeah, I thought he said like it was 60. And this was 40. If I'd have known that, I'd have given him another blank.
Yeah, for real.
But, the other thing was he wouldn't let me pay until the day I came to pick it up. So, that's discipline. This was not $40. Joe is straight up 100, and I'm okay with that because what? You go there, you pay for what they say that you pay for. I don't negotiate with them like that. They're artists. They're trying to make a living. They're doing their thing. There was another artist there. I had bought another blank cover with me, and I'd never had. He was across from Daryl Banks and down a little bit. And his name is Tom Wynn. And so I thought I'd give him a shot. And this is what he did on that.
Dude, you got some bangers, Jim.
Yeah, and the funny thing was when we were flying out on Monday, he ended up being on the same plane because he was eventually heading out back home. And so he sat in the same row with us, and I didn't talk to him that much because he was working, but I told him how much I appreciated it. So, oh my gosh, what's going on?
They're loving everything you're throwing up there, buddy.
Right,
Sticky Goose. Yeah, you got it. Hey guys.
Comicsburg.
Mastodon, right on. Yeah, those sketches were phenomenal. And I think Rob hits it on the head. $100 for a headshot is usually standard. $40 was screaming. I couldn't believe it when he said it. Maybe it's because I gave him the wheat penny. He was really impressed with the wheat penny. So maybe it worked in my favor. I don't know.
Hey,
Yeah, and then so we went to the auction. They have an auction every year, and so it's over at the Westin, and all the artists participate. Not all of them, but you can participate and turn stuff in. And my wife saw a piece she liked, and so she immediately went and got a card. Now, I have never gone and gotten a card thinking, yeah, that would not go over well if I dropped, $600, $800, whatever. And she goes, what was that? But she did it without any hesitation. And it was the face of Debbie Harry in a Spider-Gwen outfit. And it was awesome. Layered with, it was just really cool looking. But she didn't win it. It got outbid. She had a limit. She stuck to her guns. And I said, don't worry, because we'll go to the artist is there. We'll go see what he has at his booth. And she ended up getting this one instead, which is Debbie Harry with Spider-Gwen on her t-shirt.
Yes.
Yeah. And this guy's name is Rico. He's pretty cool. Nice. Yeah. So
she's a big Blondie fan?
I don't know about it being a Blondie fan. She just likes the eclectic art, and
exactly,
yeah,
That's cool, man. Very cool.
Yeah, man, Izzy, you should, man. I mean, absolutely, you should submit something next year.
You definitely should, Izzy.
Yes.
So
yeah, man.
Those were all of the art pieces I got. So this is the first time. So I went ahead and signed up for CGC. I just did the little $25 sign up thing, but I said I'm going to submit some books at the con and see how this turnover, thing does in 24 hours. I'm very curious, or not 24 hours, but through the con and see how it does. So I did do that, and I'm going to show you. You guys know I'm a negative space junkie, and it all started because of freaking Ben over here. We were in like I said, we're in a chat, and we decided to do a Christmas swap, and Ben got my name that year, and he sent me this, and I fell in love with it, and so yeah, I submitted it. It got a 9.4. This had never been pressed or anything, and I didn't care so much about the grade, but I wanted it preserved. And it's Big U people.
That's one of my favorites of the negative space. That's a great one.
I agree. And I don't know why I have all these in the bag. So these came. So then I decided to pick a couple of John Tyler Christopher books that I had gotten directly from his website, and what's up? And so I picked Psylocke.
Hey, happy birthday, buddy!
Yes,
Sensible Comics.
That's right, Sensible Comics. Happy birthday! Yeah, so I picked up this one. These are just. I don't ever plan to sell them. These are my babies. This is what everybody has their niche thing, and this is what I like. So I got 2 9/8 and a 9.4, so I'm happy. And I didn't think they would be bad grades because of the fact that, they were so clean.
Wasn't a batch of the Jean Grey kind of damaged or ruffled up when they first dropped?
I think they were.
I think they were, but I really wanted to get all three because they had a white one and a red one and a green one. Yeah. But by the time I got in there, the bots had already taken the red and white one, and all I had left, and I had to do it really quickly, and I just ordered the green one. And that was it.
Same here.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So you guys know that one of my videos is a reprint video, which I posted, and I said, I'm going to find that book at the con, and and I said I want either an 8.0 or higher, and I saw this, and it was for I had to get it. It was an 8.0. I looked at it. It does have. It's a possibility I may end up sending this out to get reholdered because it has some like Newton rings, but it was dirt cheap. This book has dropped down a lot. And I just love the cover. That's why I get Slabs 9 out of 10. No, it's not a reprint.
It's not a reprint.
That's the real deal. So I got my book that I wanted, which made me, very happy because I think that's a beautiful George Perez cover. You can't beat it. And so this is another cover by another favorite artist of mine, and it's not actually an Iron Man cover. It is a Bob Layton cover, but it's not of Iron Man. It is the first Ant-Man. Nice, it's Scott Lang. And man,
that's White Pages, isn't it?
It is White Pages. And I tell you what, I got this for a song. That guy, I think Mark would have been proud, man. Mark would have been proud. I didn't even say the wiggle room. I just said, look, I think this is a fair market value price right here. And I always go really low. And then he goes, well, the best I could do is this. And I'm like, yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
So yeah. That was on my list, though. I stuck to my list most of the time. Now, these two right here were not on my list, but you know how it is. It's like impulse buy, like you said.
That's what I was doing. After checked it all off. Yeah.
I never had this in a collection again.
Nice.
So I figured I'd go ahead and get it. I don't need it to be a 9.8. I'm fine with an 8.0. It was really good price on that one. And then this one, these guys that were over there near the Comics Curing Cancer booth had like a big box of slabs, and they were like $30 a piece. And I was like,
were they right next to Comics Curing Cancer?
They were like catty corners, sort of like when you came out, they were right there on the corner there. And yeah.
Oh, nice.
Man, $30. Why not?
Oh yeah, that's great.
Absolutely.
I mean, why not? And so it wasn't on my list, but sometimes you got to get off the list. So it wasn't a bad deal. Yeah. So that's. Oh wait, I'm going to show you these two cards. This was a card that I bought off of a young man named Donovan Hall, and the reason why I bought it is because Pocan Joe was over there, bending his ear, and I don't know, he might have something going on because he got all the information from this guy. Something moved him and said, "Hey, I liked your style." It turned out Donovan was currently, like, when he signed up for the booth and everything, he had a job, but he was currently out of work, so he was, doing as much work as he can. So I bought this little card off of him to help support him. But be on the lookout because I think Pocan Joe's got something up. Also, I too got the Evil Lair Pocan Joe custom coin.
Where did you find yours?
I didn't find it. He said, "You're Digger Jim, and I got this coin for you, and you don't even have to put it in the ground." So I was pretty happy about that. It's like, you don't have to
give
dig
you a
it.
break for once. So it was like the alternate.
Right.
I found mine on the Comics Curing Cancer table, and I pointed at it, and I said, "Oh," I was talking to Mark. I said, You found a freaking Pocan Joe coin." He said, "No, dude, you did."
Right.
He said, "That thing's been sitting there since yesterday, and nobody has even looked at it." I was like, "Oh, I've been looking for this the whole weekend."
No, he texted me and said, "Look, I've got a coin for you," because he knows I get excited when he tells me that thing.
Absolutely. That makes sense. Yeah.
When you submitted books to CGC, they gave you this poker chip, and you could take it over there, and I think you turned it in, and you could get this like anniversary pin. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like that. Yeah. And I was like, I don't want that crap. I want the poker chip. I got the poker chip.
He kept the chip.
I thought the chip was way cooler. So
that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea.
I mean, most people were turning them in. I was like, nope, I'm keeping mine. Sorry, you don't get the poker chip. So the last piece I'm going to show real quick is, I don't want to take this too much longer, is we all know that Nauman was working his butt off doing sketches, and I asked him to do me a Dead Man sketch, and he did that one.
Yeah.
So now I've got, I don't know where my Wonder Woman is. He gave me we went comic hunting one time because he doesn't live that far from me, and he gave me a Batman one. And so now I've got a Batman, a Wonder Woman, and a Dead Man. He's another talented one that can just sit there and just have the vision to see what he wants to put down to such small places.
He owes me a Darth Vader one.
Yeah. If you tell him what you like.
Vader, he kept asking me, "What Star Trek card do you want?" over and over and over, and I was like, Spock. Spock is.
So when him and Roger came in on Friday,
yeah.
I happened to be there, and I was just walking around, and I saw him. So he said, "You're not going to believe it, but I didn't buy tickets." And I was like, "What do you mean? You've had all this time?" And he's like, "Yeah, I thought when I looked on my phone, it was, I thought it was."
Confirmed
for this year, but it was for last year. Yeah. So Dave, still only 35 cents, had bought two 2 VIP passes. I don't know how you do that.
By accident, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how that happens, but yeah. So that happened, and so I went to Dave and I said, "Listen, this man hasn't bought anything yet. How about you recoup some of your money, say for $100?"
That's right.
And he's like, "Sure." And he just took the $100 bill from Nauman. Nauman got the whole kit and caboodle, and he got an upgrade because he was just going to buy a 3-day pass anyway.
Yeah.
So I got the wheel and deal. Anyways, this was fun.
That was a good. That made me happy the way that all worked out. It was cool to see. Like Dave was like, "Oh crap!"
Yeah, I wish Dave could have. I sent the link to Dave, but he is. He told me he didn't know if he was going to be on because I think he's taking and making another flight somewhere else. So, you know, he's a jet setter, Dave. Dave's a jet setter.
Yeah.
But if you get the chance to look at his haul, guys, do it.
Amazing.
He got some phenomenal stuff. And Ben and I were able to talk him out of getting Steranko to sign any of these books. He had just.
We didn't even have to talk him out.
Well, you kind of told the stories of how Steranko was beating the crap out of the books lately. So I it is what it is. But yeah, he said these are. When I saw the books that he had, they're all those Shield books, and they just look phenomenal. So
yeah. So I was going to ask that. Did you what books did you submit at the con?
No, I didn't. I mean,
or do you want to wait for a future video or anything? Did you submit any books?
No, just those 3. I submitted on Friday because I wanted to see if they could really turn it around on Sunday. Yeah. Because the guy in front of me in line, I'm not kidding. I think he submitted 30 books, maybe even 40. He had a stack like this. Jeez. And I thought that was just crazy. I think that was the first thing I thought is they should have put a limit on this. Remember, they had not done this in like 4 years.
Yeah.
And people were dropping just tons on them. And I was worried that, this is going to catch up to them.
Well.
Yeah. So
I mean, they were understaffed, and I think it definitely a learning, like we gave them grace, it was their first time doing the on-site grading in a while, and all that. Flash, did you submit any books to CGC or CBCS?
I did not for on-site grading. I have. Give me 1 second, and I can show you what I did submit. But I submitted it regular. I got Maria Wolf to sign a couple of books, and let's see how well these show up.
Yeah.
So I got these 2 Transformers books with Soundwave that she signed, and so I submitted them for verified grading or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I didn't need them directly back. Then I got in the car Sunday, and I thought, I wonder what can happen to my books between now and when they get back to Florida or whatever. Maybe I should have like I submitted them Saturday afternoon, so I don't think on-site would have worked for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I started to get nervous about my books traveling and getting packed up and going to Florida.
Right. Well, I mean, like I said, this was the first time ever doing that. And, it can get expensive. So you're not going to see me doing it. I'm not going to Sea Hall every week. I'm not Big Lion Cat. Big Lion Cat, he's in a whole nother level. And
grading isn't the big thing for me. I may try to. I've got some stuff I want to get graded sometime soon, just to see if I can get a little value out of them, and eventually go and chase down me a Werewolf by Night 32 with the proceeds. But as far as like a normal occurrence, I don't think grading is like a thing I'm gonna do very often.
Well, and I grade, like I said, I could have easily just put these in like clear slabs, but I was like, you know what? I really want to see what kind of grade these get, because these have never really been messed with too much, and they're beautiful slabbed up, and they're going back on that wall. I want to get a whole wall and just one day do negative space wall. I changed this wall up back here usually pretty regularly. You can see there's a lot of there's a lot of stuff right here. I've got to move some things around because you're missing the wall. But yeah, so that's the plan. But you know, I hope everybody had a good time at the con. I know I did. I always do. I love meeting the community members, hanging out, especially meeting new ones. I mean, you know, Dave, still only 35 cents. Czars, I'd never met Czars before. And these guys came all the way from Australia. So that was pretty impressive. Yeah. You know, I got to meet, you know, Mastodon. You know, I had a brief interaction with Puff. And when I was standing in line to get my books, there was a guy in sort of beside me in the line, and I kept looking at him like, man, he looks familiar. So finally I just said, hey man, are you part of the comic crew from Florida? And he's like, yeah. I said, yeah, okay. I thought I'd seen you before. So, and that guy was X, and he was cool. So yeah, he got some good books too. And so it's just fun meeting everybody. And you know, I'm not going to say I'm going to be there next year because I don't know that. Certain people in this house had the idea of taking a European cruise, and yeah, I may have to sell a kidney to afford it. So I don't know. But if I do, if she said, look, you can only go to one con. Yeah. Bye-bye, Baltimore. This is where I'm going. So, but anyways, thanks guys for coming on and showing your stuff. All of you guys in the chat, I appreciate it. You showing up and checking out what we got. Yeah, Juan, you got to be there. And
a lot of fun.
You know, if you get the chance, look at all. You know, if you get the chance, I'm going to plug this really quick. Look at what DJ Link's got, and it's pretty impressive.
I'm done collecting.
You know, so
I quit.
So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching as always, and
thanks, you know, Jim.
Pass everything else on, and as always, keep digging. Okay, so let's see how we do this. We do it like that.
That's right.
In the